has seen Sex and the City. So I watched this show. The first time I started watching it was like back when I was in college in the early 2000s. So it's an old show. But I'm bringing this up because I recently got a HBO Max subscription because I wanted to watch Wonder Woman 1984, and theaters are closed here in Colorado. So I was able to watch it on HBO Max, and they have Sex and the City. So I decided to start watching it again because I haven't seen it in years, and I remembered loving the show. And I still today, even though I'm like a different person today than I was back in college, it's totally, I still really, really like it. But something that I was noticing, which is something that's really profound when you're on the spiritual path and you keep opening to these greater and greater and greater depths, is that you'll notice, and I would love to hear from you if you have this experience or what your experience of this is, because I know everybody on the spiritual path has this experience to some degree or another. But it's like you can hear the same words that you heard 5 years ago, but now that you've opened, right? You opened to these greater depths of who you are, you hear it from a totally different place, right? And this is just true in life. 5 people could hear somebody say the same exact thing, and those 5 people are going to hear it totally different depending on what filter they've got going on and the way that they're receiving the words and the information and their perspectives and their perception and all that. But it's just this beautiful experience that I've had on the spiritual path that I'm amazed by it. It's interesting to me. And I love exploring it, of the depth at which you start hearing things as compared to, maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when you first started hearing these things. So the point of this story is I was watching Sex and the City again, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it sounded spiritual to me. Okay, this is Sex and the City. Like, this is not a spiritual show, but just hearing some of the things they talked about and that stuff, it was like I was hearing it and perceiving it from a completely like spiritual aspect, from this new perception of reality that I have and this new experience of life that I have. It's like, I'm like, holy crap. When I listened to this back in college, I missed all of this. I missed it. It's like who knows? I can't remember how I perceived it back then, but it definitely wasn't the same way I perceive it today. So hearing them talk about certain things, it's like I'm hearing it from a totally different place. And this is true of our lives and everything, like where we're hearing things from. I mean, somebody listening to my YouTube video today, depending on where they are in their path, my words might just fly over their head, and they probably might not be able to hear what I'm saying. And then maybe 5 years later, that person's on a deep spiritual journey and they hear my video, the same video, and they go, oh my gosh, I'm really interested in what this woman is saying now, right? Because it's like you hear it from a totally different place. So I would love to hear your experience with this. Write in the comments below, what is your experience with this? Because it's such a delicious, beautiful experience when you start to have it. And hit the subscribe button below. Listen to my free presence meditation by clicking the link below. And I'm sending you so much love, bliss, and peace, and I will see you in the next video.